flesh.
No substance.
All right, and today's top 5 is the top 5 spy films. With the Kingsman coming out this weekend, we decided we were going to give our top 5 spy films of all time. All time. So we decided with the spy films, it would be easy if we just named a bunch of Sean Connery, James Bond films, but we decided we were going to limit it to one film of James Bond. So whether it's Sean Connery, Pierce Brosnan, Daniel Craig, Timothy Dalton, or whoever that
There's
one guy was who did that one James Bond film.
James Bond films that everyone's just drawn to.
Yeah.
You have to limit it just to one.
Too easy of a list, and we can later revisit that by doing our top 5 James Bond films. But for this one, it's just the top 5 spy films of all time, at least for our list anyway. You can put your list down in the comments below. So we're gonna go with Art Cherries. You're gonna go first.
All right. I've got a lot.
Oh God. Sir, 5.
I'm gonna start at 5. All right.
Start at 5. Number 5.
All right. Spies Like Us.
Spies Like Us. I like that. Great one. That is a good freaking pick, dude.
That was just a funny movie. That was. Man, if you haven't seen it, you have to. Spoiler alert! It's during the Cold War. Those of you who don't know what the Cold War is,
well, I mean, but that was the. I mean, for most spy films, they normally took place during the Cold War because that's really when we were in the spy business.
Yes. During from World War II, especially during that, it was when all these spy movies were coming out.
Right.
That was just espionage was the hot topic.
I love that movie because not only is it a spy film, so you get the gadgetry and the quasi espionage that they did in that film, but also too it was such a great comedy film. So it was like you almost forget you got so caught up in the goofball comedy of it that you forget what the point of the movie was about.
I mean, Chevy Chase is still one of my most favorite movies from Chevy Chase.
Oh.
Doctor.
I love the early Chevy Chase films. I love those.
All right.
Number 4.
All right. Mission Impossible.
Which Mission Impossible?
The first one.
The very first one when he put the gum on the window when it was like red, blue.
When he's like falling for the thing and he stops mid drop and he's all like.
That was the coolest part of that film.
The sweat's gonna drop and he's like. I mean, all that.
Don't sweat.
Yeah.
No, it's like okay. So the believability of Mission Impossible. But that film, I mean, it started, what are we on, number 5?
Yeah.
Number 5. Look how long this franchise has gone on.
6.
Based on how well that one film did. And I think with the gum, I really hated that part of the film.
I think that type of spy film, that type of action in the spy films was dying down. It was kind of a resurgence that brought kind of like an action with the spy films.
And it was one of the films that I think to bring back an old TV show property where it was first one I can say, hey, they did that well.
Yes, Mission Impossible.
They did that well, even though they killed the whole team in the very beginning of the movie. And it stopped being a Mission Impossible movie like 15 minutes into the film.
So then it became a Mission Impossible?
So this will not be on my top 5 list.
Number 3. The Bourne Identity.
Which Bourne Identity?
The very
I'm sorry, they have individual names. Yes. The Bourne Identity Ultimate. I'm sorry because I look at them as like Bourne Identity 2 and Bourne Identity the worst one.
Well, no, that's because they changed the names.
Supremacy.
Yeah, the Bourne Ultimatum.
Legacy.
Yeah, so it's for me it's the Bourne Identity, the Bourne Identity 2, the Bourne Identity 3, and then the Bourne Identity.
For those of us that actually watch these films,
already damn it.
So the first Bourne Identity.
The first Bourne Identity, you went in not expecting Matt Damon to be this freaking amazing action
I still
star.
don't believe that he's amazing.
What? What?
I walked out of that film like I didn't buy it. I like the original Bourne Identity.
Now we know when you look on Rotten Tomatoes, 99%. Who was that 1%? It was that guy.
This guy right here. I didn't buy him as a spy nor an ass kicker. Unfortunately, he made me buy him in the worst Bourne Identity film, which was
rocked it.
You have to admit that Matt Damon's fight skills were,
I have to admit the editing of that film was amazing. That editor, good job.
The only thing I didn't like about it was the freaking camera work. I thought Greengrass or whatever the hell his name
It
was.
was like with the moving camera and all the quick cuts. You know, because they had to hide that it was Matt Damon doing the fight scene.
Hell yeah, you fight Matt Damon and then tell me who wins.
Well, yeah, I'll do this.
He really, I believe he sold it enough where 3 other films were made.
Him and Tom Cruise really worked that apple box as they, like the 5'2" midgets they are, they're trying to sit there and fight, you know, with all the quick cuts.
Those midgets would kick my butt.
They would. He was actually pretty awesome in that fight. But I never bought him as the ass kicker that he was in that film. And it was like every time they showed him doing something like amazing in it, like rolling up the magazine and beating who gets beat with a magazine? If you get your ass beat by a magazine.
That's why they're especially trained and skilled fighters.
Okay, so what you're trying to tell me in the military, they're like, because like today is magazine ass beating day. So they're rolling up, get your magazine.
If it was regular military,
hey, can I get an
if it was regular military, then they wouldn't be having these guys and doing Black Ops.
Okay, Terrence, did you buy Liam Neeson as a?
Yes, because Liam Neeson's like 6'6", dude.
But he's freaking old when he did Taken. Are you seriously gonna tell me that you believe?
I believe a 6'6" dude could whip my ass than a 5'2". Yes. But go on, sir. Please tell me more about the Bourne Identity.
Yeah. Anybody who works out and is 5'2", you can always hit up Terrence.
Put it in the comment section below.
Bruce Lee can whoop your ass.
He could.
And he was not 6'6".
But he ain't no goddamn Matt Damon.
Number 2!
Inception.
Wait, was that a spy film?
That was a spy film.
A spy film of the mind?
How was that a spy film?
Of the mind?
Undercover, right? They're going in, and what did we say?
That's more Elm Street than the spy movie.
Aspen.
Freddy Krueger is a spy.
No, Aspen. Inception.
Inception?
Spy film? Yes or
It
no?
wasn't like a spy film. It was like a underground gang of scientists.
And if you say it that way, I believe him as a spy film.
Guys,
go make your point, sir. Why is it a spy film?
Why is it a spy film? Tell me. They're spying on minds?
They're spying on minds. You know what? That is a good point.
They're going, it's undercover. They're pretending to be somebody else.
Deep,
you know, you got me.
Deep undercover.
You won me over. They're spying on people's inner thoughts and their dreams. So, I mean, they're pretending to be somebody else. That is the rules of being a spy. So, yeah, you brought me over to your side.
No, hombre.
I just laid some groundwork. I always said what was the groundwork for the spy movies.
They hit all, to be honest, they hit all the qualifications.
Okay.
Number 1.
By the way, Krueger is still a spy.
Number 1. Casino Royale.
Casino Royale. I applaud that one. I love that movie.
Which one?
With Daniel Craig.
Oh, okay.
Why? Daniel Craig, I know I'm going to get a lot of heat for this, but Daniel Craig is my all-time favorite Bond.
Really?
Yes.
You are going to go, you're going to blaspheme against Sean Connery.
Everybody. And,
No.
And here's why.
That's like saying Christian Bale is better than Michael Keaton.
Yes.
He is.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I hate saying it, but he is.
All right, so I'll tell you why Daniel
Better
Craig.
fight scenes.
Okay, how about this? That means that Ben Affleck is better than Christian Bale.
You shut your mouth.
Exactly. That's how I feel about
You shut your mouth.
Okay. All right, so all the other James Bonds, everyone was, classy, elegant, they very sophisticated.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Craig kind of broke the mold of your traditional Bond.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of went a different direction, and I thought it was rather refreshing to see a different take.
He gave you the more, like, look, because Bond films were always based on the fact that how much tech can we show you? How much of a gentleman can James Bond be? He still gave you that gentlemanly quality. They got away from all the spy gadgets and showed you that Bond was the reason why he was able to do this and not the gadgets that he got. I love Daniel Craig when they cast him in it, and to be honest, I love Casino Royale just as much as you do, especially in this list, the way we got it set up. I really love that film, and I love what he did to set up himself as the premier Bond. Like I said, it's really tough saying that against Sean Connery, but as the premier Bond going forward in this franchise. So I mean, I agree with you.
We have a lot of we don't want to let go of some childhood things that we enjoy. Oh, this is what it really. But when you step back and you think, okay, like this guy came in and completely changed how the James Bond character was. Right? They explained why. She even said, "You were promoted to a Bond too soon. I had my reservations about promoting you. You know." To being a 00 agent, right?
Tuxedo.
But in those short shorts when he came out of the water. Even Art got a little excited on that one. I'm just saying.
No more Ryan Reynolds jokes for Terrence over here.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, he was, if any one of us, right, was to ever be in the place of James Bond, I think we'd all act like Daniel Craig. We'd all be like, you know what? He was all about, like, I'm gonna go all in. Every hand, I'm gonna put
Brosnan over.
Whoa.
I was a big Pierce Brosnan fan. Well, we're getting on another topic now. We're picking best Bonds, but we're not doing that.
Okay.
That was his number one.
That was my number one.
It was a great top 5 list. I mean, you got a little shaky on 2 with Inception, but it was a very, you made your point on it, so it was a very good top 5 list. So that's gonna bring up my top 5 list. So starting at number 5.
Number 5.
I'm gonna go because I could not. You know, I'm taking this out because I made so much of a case against it. I can't put this in my number 5.
Inception.
No. I'm gonna go as far as a true spy film for me because I don't feel like Bourne was more of a spy film. I thought it was kind of like him trying to understand who he was as a person. Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Okay.
I love that movie because one, it was different for a spy film, and you got the two dueling
and just
spies.
to let you know, it was the Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Whatever. It's Man from U.N.C.L.E. Just the way I said it. And it was 2 spies that were dueling at one particular point that came together. I like how they did different factions.
Tango Cash.
It was Tango and Cash for spy film.
A modern Tango and Cash that took place 50 years ago?
It was a serious This Is War. Nobody remembers that film.
Yes, I got it.
Oh, okay, good. Never mind.
Yes.
I like the film.
Nobody likes to remember that
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
film. Okay.
That is a spy film.
That one,
Ended a marriage, but pretty
that one was too corny for me. It was,
Really? That was too corny for you?
Amazing.
Okay. Whether or not
Spies Like Us was not too corny for you.
Spies Like Us was amazing because it embraced.
Smith is too corny for you.
It embraced being like a cornball movie. It embraced like having fun.
Embrace being a popcorn flick.
What this was this is the new it couple for right now. Let's put a movie together with them.
Hey, it wasn't Geely. We didn't get that garbage. We got a good movie, man.
It was decent at the most. It was decent at the most.
It was a good film, and it was like I'm a big Brad Pitt fan. I'm a big Angelina Jolie fan, and at the time it's like
they're hot. They're a new couple. Wow, then we should put a movie with them together.
Exactly.
Doug Liman directed Swingers. He directed Mr. and Miss Smith. They won't.
I'll do defending Mr. and Mrs. Smith. It was a great film. I think they did a good job for it. I'm surprised it never got a sequel, but then they got divorced, so I guess we never seen it.
Well, that's why you didn't.
No, we saw the sequel.
Mr. and Mrs.
We saw the sequel with
Keeping Up with the Joneses.
Well, no, it wasn't that. It was
War of the Roses?
No, it was the one where was a girl. God, I can't remember.
It was so good you can't remember.
I can't remember. I watched it. It was like we didn't get a sequel with Angelina Jolie, but we got a sequel with Brad Pitt in another movie where he had a different woman, and I was like, oh, it's kind of like he left his wife and got with another spy, and then Allied. There you go. That's the film. That was a sequel to Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Allied.
That was a sequel that took place 40 years before.
But supposedly he had an affair with her too.
Yeah, exactly. So whatever. Hey, look, it's a hard life for you, Brad Pitt. Number 3. My number 3 is also well, it's not your number 3, but it's my number 3. Casino Royale. Casino Royale is my number 3. I just talked it up as his number 1.
You gave it 3.
I gave it. It gave it 3. It's a Bond film. We only got to choose one, and that was my Bond film. Is
Better than Batman at 5.
It's better. And that is my Bond film. And it's like I had a whole bunch of other Bond films I wanted to put on. It was a hard choice, but I had to think about which one do I really go back and watch. And I was a person that like my family were really big into Bond, and we had the set and we would really rewatch all the Bond films. This one I just think it was the best Bond out there. And I know people are really big on Skyfall, but Casino Royale
was the
that was really the film.
Yeah.
All right, number two. All right, so I also went Mission Impossible, but I did not pick your garbage gum on the window Mission Impossible 3, where the whole team got killed.
If you say 3, you picked 3, didn't you?
I picked 3.
3.
Bringing out Bing Rames to the team because it corrected all the mistakes that 2 gave us.
I knew it was going to be. And you know what? It's a close one. I still think Mission Impossible.
That is the only one that had a team.
That's Mission Impossible set the groundwork for all the others.
But okay, Mission Impossible, they killed the team. Emilio, I'm still upset that you died in the elevator, man. I was so happy to see you in the film and you died in the elevator. I was so happy to see him in the film and it's like he died in the elevator. I was like, look, they killed the team in the first 15 minutes. It was Tom Cruise as the whole Mission Impossible team.
We had an Outsiders reunion.
Yeah, exactly. And then Mission Impossible 2, it was him and John Woo didn't know what the hell he was doing with a Mission Impossible film. Mission Impossible 3 got them back to doing a team. That's what he was doing.
All this for a team. All this for a team. When Mission Impossible set the groundwork for them all.
No, the TV show set the groundwork for them all. That's what it was based on.
No young kid remembers the TV show. Most adults don't remember the TV show.
I remember the TV show.
Ving Rhames was in part 1.
When was he in part 1?
He was the first.
He was a black man on the left.
He still played Luke.
It was the same character.
In part 1.
He just had his role was much smaller.
That's how much I don't remember him because he had this look. I count black people in films, and he must have done nothing in that film that I couldn't count him in that film. Look. So anyway, part 3 was the one where they got back to the actual Mission Impossible and the team aspect
which explains
of it.
why you like Casino Royale.
It was a great job. James Bond is not about a team. James Bond is about himself. Mission Impossible 3 he put together a great team that did a great job. Number 2. Wait, that was number 2. No, sorry. That was Mission Impossible 3 was number 2. Number 1.
Number 1.
Sorry. Number 1, I feel it should be the obvious choice. It's got to be True Lies. It's got to be True Lies. It's got to be True Lies because it's one of those films where Arnold Schwarzenegger is known for action and he was trying to get himself known for comedy. He hadn't done a really great job in doing comedy, but when you go... He had
Kindergarten Cop.
That was not
Twins.
a good. That was Twins. Twins was not funny because of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Twins was funny because of Danny.
It was. Part
no,
of it was.
You lied.
And your favorite Jingle All the Way. He did that too.
This was later.
All right.
This was later. Look, Danny DeVito was what helped him in Twins. Kindergarten Cop was just like.
Kids help him?
No, it was like if you look at the Tooth Fairy with The Rock. Tooth Fairy with The Rock. Were you gonna say that's one of his best comedy films?
Kindergarten Cop was way better than Tooth Fairy.
Yeah.
Way better than Tooth Fairy.
Anyway, so
it's not a tool ball. It's not a tool
We're not
ball.
talking about the greatness of Arnold Schwarzenegger and his comedy films. What we're talking about is the greatness of True Lies.
Excellent movie.
It was a great movie, and it got to show you what it would be like for a spy, in his sense, to be married and have was Mr. and Mrs. Smith before Mrs. and Mrs. Smith. It got to show you what it'd be like for them to have a normal life and still have to hide it from his wife and somehow deal with all the things that he had to deal with.
I could see you making this argument for 4, maybe even 3. For top.
I love True Lies.
True Lies.
I love True Lies.
True Lies was funny. It was action packed. It had a romance side to it. It was for everybody. That movie was great. And Elijah Dushku as Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. And then you got James Cameron. You got the leader James Cameron in the back. And he's over here calling the shots. He's over here telling Arnold Schwarzenegger and hit that.
Hello, y'all. Manny argued that he didn't want to be doing the top 5.
And then
he wants to comment on every film.
All right, so that's my top 5 list. That brings us to honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions. Top Secret.
Top Secret. Top Secret.
Top Secret. My favorite scene is at the end where the guy's walking because, they were dressed as a cow and the bull comes from behind. And then he's just walking. He's just walking. That's just too dumb. Argo.
Great movie.
I still debate that's
it is. They were. That's why I included Inception because I was like, you know what? Argo is a spy film.
Inception more than Argo. I say Inception more than Argo after your case.
But Argo was based on a true story. I mean, you can't.
Inception is based on a true story.
No, it is not.
It is.
In someone's mind.
In your mind. In your mind.
You know what's funny is that, we'll go ahead.
I'm doing my top 5, man, please. I mean, yeah, my honorable mentions. All right, so one of my honorable mentions was your whack, Bourne, the first one. It's so whack. It's my honorable mention.
It was so whack. It spawned so many others.
All right, but my other honorable mention, because a couple of the James Bond films I was trying to decide between were like Goldfinger and Dr. No, 2 iconic Sean Connery James Bond films, and it's like it hurt my heart to not even put them in my top 5, but I wanted to at least mention them for my honorable mention.
Over Mr. and Mrs. Smith, you could have put that in place.
One James Bond film was the rule. All right, take us home.
Don't forget to tell us what movies we left out, what your top 5 spy films were. Comment, like us, follow us, do it all.
Do it all.
To us.
Okay. That is an interesting way to end this show, but like he said, make sure you do all of that stuff, not specifically to us. So, for Manny playing director today and Aspen being a bum on the couch, I'm Terrence.
I'm Art.
And that was the goods. No, because they had to hide that it was Matt Damon doing the fight scene.
Yeah, you fight Matt Damon and then tell me who wins.
Well, yeah, I'll do this. While he swings.